It says here we should work in teams. Who wants to be my spotter?
I don't think you should be doing too much gambling tonight, Alan.
Gambling? Who said anything about gambling? It's not gambling when you know you're going to win.
Yay! That's right. It's super true. It's not really gambling if you know what you're doing, and we all think that we know what we're doing all the time. Look at the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast as we're presenting the fantasy walkabout. Look, this isn't a show about letting you know who's better or who's not. You should have fucking figured that out already. And if not, that's where we come in. There's so many great shows out there to tell you who's good right now and which stats are the ones that you need to be focusing on. That's not this one. We're going to give you a few. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about true values within dynasties that have been around a little while, not the fresh off the, well, his draft was this. At this point, we're going to reference it because it's important to set the value. We're going to talk about players' true values, like players you can get in the 7th round who happen to be the wide receiver 1 on the season right now. Right? These are the guys that we pride ourselves on picking on. So that's what we're going to do today, actually, now that I think about it. This is a review of sorts. We're not going to really review all the things we did and didn't do right. We have a long off season to do that. But through 4 weeks, we think that it is a large enough sample size to Bryce. What? My main man Tom looking cute as always. Look, hey, I shaved.
Babyface Tom.
Got to clean up a little bit. We're trying to cut some of the weight back. So hey, this is where we're at. We appreciate Bryce as always coming in to here from Twitch. Love the Superman curl. You know what? That happens naturally. I don't know where the Clark Kent thing comes from, but it's not. It just always happens. Look, we pride ourselves on our appearance over here at the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast. Yeah, right. Actually, you know what, Tomley? I got to say, your hair is actually in position today. It's not all over, so maybe we're
on that weird in between length, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So look, on today's show, we're going to talk about 5 things going right in the season so far, 5 things going wrong in the season so far. We're going to talk about our biggest hits, our biggest misses, and our favorite things. And, if we have time, we're going to play a little trade game. And, of course, we have Foot Falcon Friday, talking about the Thursday night football game coming up. Boy, it's going to be a doozy. Look, I got to tell you, last night's game, it was a rough one. It was a rough one, It was ugly. It was ugly all the way around. It was ugly in RL football. It was ugly for fantasy football. It was really not an exciting game. There was a couple things I pulled from that game, and I want to share them with you, Tom Lee, my man, all the way around the world in Aussie land right now, surviving and sweating it through. Yeah. Oh, shit. Consistently being bombarded with kangaroos and such.
That's it.
Yeah, boxing them every time you got to get to the car. Or, sorry, I should say feral camels. I know that's still a thing over there, so.
The plague haunting our nation right now.
I want to talk about a couple of players from last night's game and how it affects fantasy, because we're not going to break down the whole game. You've probably already watched it. Again, you've got the stats ready. You're refreshing Player Profiler and Fantasy Pros, for all the hot stats. But I just want to talk about the impact of some of these games now. So I want to first talk about Mike Williams. Mike Williams, the 5th-year breakout, the Devontae Parker of this year, had been a stud. Currently the wide receiver 5 according to Fantasy Pros. But he had a dud and is against the Raiders, right? We expected a big game for all the Chargers, except you know what we got? We got 3 tight ends and Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
Kind of how that whole game was. Do you think that what you saw from last night was just a connection issue? Maybe the Raiders just played a good game. Did the weather delay for an indoor stadium throw off the Chargers?
We left 2 of the windows open. Some lightning might get in. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It was not the game that we thought we'd get, right? We thought, especially in this division, we thought high firepower. Carr's been really good so far this year. We knew that there's good offensive pieces on both sides. The Raiders' defense was banged up, and it got more banged up throughout the night. It's either coaching or it's a connection issue. Because I think they saw they were winning enough on the ground. They wanted to get away from the pass rush. from the Raiders,
Yeah.
and they did, because no matter how many times your favorite ESPN commentary team was telling you
my
that there
God.
was a fourth or fifth on the roster cornerback sitting on Mike Williams, they did not bother to look at him. So it was either they didn't need to, or they just did not care because it was working elsewhere.
Like, there were a couple pretty egregious plays on that one, but I mean, no quarter. And this is something we as fantasy players have to get used to. No player is gonna have a perfect season. It doesn't happen. So this could probably be the worst game for Herbert that we see. 25 of 38, 222, 3 scores. Right, he had 3 carries for 4 yards, but it was
Still
a tight,
still a good game.
Yeah, fantastic game. 21.28 points and 4 passing touchdown leagues with no real bonuses or anything like that. That's fine. I mean, it's not hurting you, right? It just wasn't the 30-point MVP outrageous game that we've been used to seeing. So I'm not worried about this for Mike Williams either. However, I will be watching next week to see if they deliberately go for the rebound. Does he get the red zone targets? Because, I mean, I'm not really worried about the Raiders taking away my outside options. If I'm being honest with you, it was just a very weird game script. You're right. They did go up early, though. Like, that might have hurt it. Then the game plan kind of got rattled. And then the Raiders kind of made a comeback. I don't know. It was a weird game. Yeah, but one thing that wasn't weird, Austin Eckler's usage. Now, remember, he went out early. It was like the first drive. I was super hyped. I typed in the Slack, oh, yeah, Austin Eckler. He looks great up there. He's hurt. Yeah. Like, literally hurt. Yeah. Like, that was the next message. Super, super depressing. But we saw 11 carries for Roundtree, 3 more for Justin Jackson. Jackson was targeted 4 times. So they used the running backs a lot. They were clearly up in the game script, but this is good for Austin Eckler. 15 carries, 117. The Raiders have been pretty okay at slowing the run down. Takeaways for Eckler. Do you think he continues the usage on the ground? This is the big thing for him, because he's going to get his targets.
Yeah, I think
he had 5.
He was in line to see more. I mean, once he didn't get too badly banged up. His ankles got rolled up on it in the middle of a tackle. Yeah, which essentially was a touchdown saving tackle, because he was clear.
Yes, he was gone.
Yes, he could have had a bigger night. I think once they got up, they're just like, all right, we'll rotate through the rest of it. We'll rest our guy, because he is clearly their guy going forward. The usage looks good. He would have got more targets if they needed to, but they kept getting conversions on third down when they needed them, or they had too much to go. They had a lot of 3rd and 10s. Because the pass rush got home from the Raiders. So he looks really, really good. He's definitely one. He didn't quite make our bus, a little preview later on. Sorry, not bus, misses. But he's definitely one that I missed on. I didn't think he'd look this good. I didn't think his usage would be this good early on.
Especially in positive game scripts, right? You think they'd bring in the big back, right? Roundtree. They love his thighs. Apparently, that was the thing in training camp.
Please stop using Justin Jackson.
He looked, you know what? Yeah, stop using him. I think part of this was he was kind of banged up. The game's kind of out of reach. Oh, crap. They're coming back.
I just don't have to watch Justin Jackson.
Yeah, I don't want to watch Roundtree either, to be fair, though. Like, really, if we're being honest, like, I don't really want to. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not a Justin Jackson, a JJ truther. That's not me. No. God, I've watched so much Big Brother lately. Keenan Allen even had a quiet game. 7 of 11, 36 yards.
There, but nothing massive.
Like, Guyton got targeted.
Guyton got runs.
He was getting carries. It's like
end arounds.
He was seriously one of the strangest games. Okay, I want to talk on the other side. Bryan Edwards, he was left in the dust again. He seems to get 4 or 5 targets. If he doesn't catch them all, he's kind of non-existent.
Yeah.
Henry Ruggs, 3 of 6 for 60 yards. They're using him a lot. They're using him well. He had a couple drops.
Yeah, 51 yards in that one catch as well.
I just want to talk about John Gruden for a minute. They open up the offense. We're down 21 points. We got to get out there and spread the ball around. All right, we've caught up. We're in the game. We're right there. Hand the ball off to Josh Jacobs with his bum ankles. All right, we got to reestablish the run now that the game is close.
Yeah.
Watching John Gruden coach a game is one of the most exhausting experiences you can have in football. And if you have, I keep almost calling them Oakland. God, the Raiders are a team that if you have their players in fantasy, you don't watch the game.
God, no.
You don't watch Raiders games unless they're like last night where it was a singled out standalone island game and
Yeah.
you're that bored.
And you're watching because they're playing the Chargers.
Yeah,
You're
that's
not watching
exactly
because
what
your
you're
players
doing.
are on the Raiders. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why most of the fans were in the stadium to begin with. God, what an embarrassment. Go back to San Diego. Keep the jerseys. They're fantastic. Keep
Powder
all the
blue
players.
for the win.
Fantastic. Get out of LA. Just please. So bad. Okay. That was last night. So we're gonna move. We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it strolling. Look, every week, me and Tom Lee like to pick a player that we think is gonna have a little bit more swag in their step when they
A little
step
bit
on
of swag, a
the
little
field.
bit of swing.
We had been 3 for 3 up until this week, and I kind of cheated. I figured there's no way we're gonna miss out being 4 for 4. I'm being so suave. I'm being so spot on. Perfect record. Well, this was an eliminator to be sent the fuck home because I picked Tom Brady with our budgie smuggler of the week. Also, budgie smuggler, please return my emails.
Talk
Please.
to us.
I will continue to send the email every week until I get a Full Tilt Dynasty podcast sponsored budgie smuggler. Please respond. Tom Brady didn't do the job, but you have picked a player that you think is going to grab those budgie smugglers, the extra small ones, the extra small budgie smugglers, strap them on and strut his stuff down the beach.
Pull that drawstring.
He's going to pull it as tight as he can because he's coming off a touchdown, 90 yards. The Jets came back against Tennessee, right? They're fired up. Zach Wilson was dropping dimes, and you have selected Corey Davis to be strutting up and down the beach, right? Budgie smugglers on, nothing to hide. Everyone can see his confidence. He's walking in. Why do you think Corey Davis has just got that extra bit of juice this week?
Well, firstly, they play my boys, Atlanta, with our amazing secondary, amazing pass rush, and it's just non-existent on the defensive side, right? So they're playing a team, who you can just throw for days on. And Corey Davis is getting volume of targets. He's getting the bomb touchdowns. He's getting all the looks. So this is the guy this week. Yeah, this is the guy this week. I think this is where we see the rise of Zach Wilson. This is a great game for him to continue on with what he did last week.
He possibly lead Atlanta.
Yeah, I'd love to see a shootout for these two teams. I'd love to see two quarterbacks, an old dusty quarterback throwing to a wide receiver, running back, hybrid guy,
beast monster.
And I want to see the young guy. I want to see the young guy rolling out of the pocket, hitting Davis. We saw it in the preseason, and I think this is a preview of what we're going to get this week. I think Corey Davis, 120 off 7 targets and a touchdown wouldn't be beyond the realm of possibilities. I think the volume's going to be there because Ryan's going to keep throwing the ball all day. Not hitting anything, but throwing it.
Absolute dog shit. He had
if
the
he was
worst
70 pounds heavier, he'd be Big Ben.
Oh my God. It was some of the most atrocious. I feel so. I was greedy and I was like, man, I just want Peyton to have played one more year. Yeah. I wanted Eli to play one more year. And I'm watching Matt Ryan and Ben Roethlisberger just fucking struggle to do anything. To do anything. People are like, but Matt Ryan's been pretty good for fantasy. No.
Sure.
Cordero Patterson has been pretty good for fantasy. Matt Ryan is trying his hardest to ruin Kyle Pitts and Calvin Ridley's dynasty value for people in the offseason, causing serious emotional distress for a lot of people. And we're not going to that kind of counseling. What do you think this is? Matt Ryan is trying to put fantasy managers into therapy, and we're just not going to listen. We're not going to go. We're going to take it. We're going to swallow. We're going to bury it down. Bury the feelings and act like we have answers, because that's what we do here. Shout out to Bill Burr for that quote. I'll never live that one down. Look, it's our budgie smuggler of the week. It's going to be Corey Davis. Tom Lee over there, the giant himself, is predicting 120 yards, 7 targets, and a tutty.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a lot when you say it. That's a lot.
That's mid-20s in PPR. Yeah.
But it's Atlanta. It's fucking Tyler Heineke. Tay
We'll see.
looked like a god
He did.
against the Falcons. Just oh my lord, I'm so sorry, buddy. That Super Bowl just crushed you guys.
It did.
And,
Yeah, that was the peak. It was meant to be the start of our era, and it became the peak.
yeah, it was. Yeah,
28
it was
and 3.
It's so bad. I just feel bad for the yearly reminder that Tom Brady gives you guys. It's fucking
It's
hilarious.
fine.
See the last one with the picture on his computer? Just fucking hilarious. All right, we're gonna take a break when we come. Not for you, but for us.
No,
When we come back, we're gonna get right into the hard yakka. Right, this is our exercise, the hard work exercise that really got to ask yourself the tough questions in Dynasty. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna ask tough questions to ourselves, to each other. We're going to work through it kind of like therapy, but like in a way that, we don't lose our pride because we're not allowed to go to therapy. All right. When we come back, we're going to get into the hot yakka and keep the show moving. So sit tight, refill your beverages. It's not going to be that long, but hey, stay with us. I don't know how to drink my water.
I never know how long those things are going to be.
Oh, excuse me. I took that drink of water at the absolute worst possible time. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my God. I'm so... Jeez Louise. I'm dying over here. Water. Trying to be healthier, and it's killing me.
Yep.
Look, we talk a lot, right? We have 2 shows. We talk a lot. We're on Twitter. We talk a lot. So we pick players that we love, we hate, that we're in on, we're confident with. So we're going to start with the ones that were our biggest hits, and then we're going to slowly descend into madness, into the worst ones that we've had. Personally, we're going to explain them, talk through them, what we're going to do with them moving forward, how to approach them, and what made them so correct in our process. It's a big deal. So Tom Lee, I see who you've listed as your biggest hit, and I'm going to give this one to you, but I'm also putting an asterisk.
It comes with a qualifier, and that's completely fair. Yeah.
Yes. So Naji Harris is your biggest hit. Some people might take that as a cop-out because, he was supposed to be good. Why was he your biggest hit in your process? Please explain.
I just think we knew he'd get opportunity, but the concern for me was going to be production. It's not really a risk because we knew he'd be, like I said, he'd get the volume. He's a highly rated asset, but there was enough people out there who were doubting whether or not he could do it, especially with no O-line in Pity. And for me, he's just been able to overcome and produce probably more than you'd expect or he should have. So that for me is probably the biggest win. The qualifier, like you said, is that he's getting away with it in a sense. The production hasn't been amazing. It's been what we thought, but there's been enough catching, or there's been a touchdown, or there's been enough to push him.
34 fucking targets.
Yes. There's been enough to keep pushing his floor.
4th and long on a swing on a swing pattern.
Yeah.
Like fucking Big Ben.
Yeah. So it could be a false win at the moment, and I think that's completely fair. Asterisk to put on. The person we wanted to put in here was Cooper Kupp. But the reason we can't put him in here is because, like you said, the process is what dictates whether or not this is a win. The process for me was there, and then you took the risk on will they produce above and beyond what you think they can. The issue was I went for all the Rams passing plays. So I thought that you'd see Woods match the same production Kupp would, and because he hasn't, it's not necessarily a win because the process wasn't correct. Kupp was going to be the favorite. You had to choose between one of the two, and I didn't put my cards on the table quite enough.
Exactly, and that was the big thing. Like we could all, Matthew Stafford's there, everyone gets the bump, right? So it's kind of, but the reason we love Cooper Kupp is that he had an absolute abysmal week. Tyreek Hill put up 46, and Cooper Kupp's still the wide receiver 1. So like, getting him in the 7th and 8th round was just an absolute, it's got to be the top 5 value in drafts, not named like Cordero Patterson, Tom, and Tay Heineke. For me personally, look, I mean, I agree with that. I think what he's showing is that he can catch the ball, and I think that's important, right? I think that was a question mark for some people. He looks bad with the ball in his hands. Like that's something that does worry me with the process. but it could improve. Obviously, if a line improves or the team, like defenses actually have to put a defender past 10 yards,
Yeah.
it might change up a little bit. But, I mean, take that win. You earned it. Look, for me, boy, this is going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to tune out for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah. Not the listeners, but Tom Lee can fuck off. Look, I say that politely. I got shit on a lot.
You did.
A lot. Probably just a hair less because I'm going to make it about me and not about him than the player actually did for how he's played. And it's Sam Darnold, right? Just what else could you have expected out of a guy where you could draft again in the 8th round, 7th round in super flex startups? I traded Jalen Reagor straight up for Sam Darnold in the offseason. You could get him at just an absolutely ridiculous price. A second, 2 seconds, a second, and you probably could have traded Matt Ryan for him, right?
Straight up, easy.
You could have, you could have moved Tannehill for Darnold and a pick. Like, it just, his value was so low, and there was no way to me that he could be worse than Teddy Bridgewater was in Carolina, or Brian Allen, or Cam Newton's last season. There was no way to me that process led me to him not outplaying his ADP. So again, we go, well, but Tom, you said you don't talk about ADP and draft position. But what I also said is that it's important to understand what that is when making trades, because their current value is what you should be basing your freaking trades off of.
Exactly.
Right? That's how you establish your value for that player. And that's what will give you an edge if you know the other managers in your league are not doing that. Most people that had Darnold wanted out on Darnold the second he went to Carolina. Oh, he's in a good offense, but he still sucks. There's no way that Adam Gase caused that much of a problem. Yeah, really? No way. Absolutely no possibility.
We haven't seen it ever before. Yeah.
No, not ever. Who did he have playing for? Oh, Braxton Berrios was his one for a while? Oh, Jamison Crowder is a game breaker. Mims? Yeah, we're not going to use him, though. Oh, but he had Perriman. Like, the process was, Robbie Anderson. He's fantastic. Yeah. Like, there was no way that Sam Darnold wasn't going to produce. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, you know what, guys, I'm such a smart analyst, fantasy football content creator, that I knew he'd be a top 5 quarterback according to Fantasy Bros. Like, fuck yeah, of course it did. Blah. No. What did I say, though? 15 and up.
Yeah,
is
that's
where
the key,
I saw him.
The process is what makes this the biggest win. Because, like you said, his value was seen as the floor. So the risk you're taking on is all upside risk.
Want to hear a crazy fucking thing? He has as many rushing touchdowns as he had passing touchdowns. He has 5
nuts.
of each. That's insane. 3 of those passing touchdowns have gone to DJ fucking Moore, which I love that guy. But what I also love is that DJ Moore has scored the 4th most fantasy points in PPRs for a wide receiver. So you got Darnold who's top 5 and Darnold who's number 4, or other way around. Darnold's top 5, DJ Moore is 4, right? And it's a fun. It was when McCaffrey was healthy. It was still DJ Moore. He's finding him. McCaffrey is hurt. DJ Moore is taking snaps as a running back in passing downs in the red zone. Unbelievable. And the coaching staff, right? Brady and Rule, they loved Darnold. They picked up his option when they got him. He's going to be there. So the process was right on Darnold. Look outside of. This is where numbers can kind of like mislead you, right? I'm not like, watch the game, bro. You don't watch every snap, bro. You don't have to. Gase was so fucking bad everywhere he's been. If Tannehill got the bump for you after what he did in Tennessee, you should at least accept that a guy that has Terrace Marshall, Robbie Anderson, who sucks, DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey, and how they even drafted Chuba Hubbard to help him out, right? Wasn't going to produce And if the defense was bad in Carolina, it would be fucking better for fantasy.
Better, yeah.
But their defense has been great outside of the Dallas game, and he still produced. So, kind of look past some of the early things. That's going to be my biggest hit probably the entire season. And you know what? If he sucks the rest of the way, still don't care. Because it's given me hope now.
Yeah.
For an investment that you didn't need a lot. Whew. Okay. That's a lot of Sam Darnold for one day.
That's all the positives for us, That's us highlighting where we've gone right.
Now and I know we threw 2 picks. Yeah. I get it. Okay, in the first pick, I get it. Diggs got him, right? DJ Moore was wide fucking open. I just have a feeling Robbie Anderson was like, dude, can you please just throw me the fucking ball? And then you see DJ Moore running across the field the other way with no one around him. But Darnold just looked, and of course, he's still going to make mistakes. He's a turnover machine at USC. You expect that if you have Darnold.
And he's a quarterback.
And then the second pick was just an outstanding top 5 play by Diggs. That guy's a superstar. Unbelievable. So we're going to get into our biggest misses, and these are important because we're not the type of people that'll sit here and tell you that we were right. Oh, we're fucking right on everything. We never lose. We're undefeated in our leagues. We have the best score differential in the entire league. We win every fucking trade. That's not how it works.
No.
Okay? And we're not going to bullshit you. We're going to be transparent. We miss a lot. We fucking miss a lot. Basically our hit rate is like baseball. 3 out of 10 and you're a Hall of Famer, right? Because you make so many calls in an off season and your process is constantly getting worked. Batting 300 is kind of acceptable, right? Yeah. For like most not sociopath, complete bullshit type people, I think, in my opinion, personally. Not saying that, people, not everyone's a dirtbag, okay? It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying. Kind of bullshit. Biggest misses. Tom Lee, for you, we talked about this player already.
We did.
What did you completely swing and miss on in your process?
So one of the pitfalls to my process, and we talk about true value and trying to add value to your team. Well, part of adding value is trying to get assets that have not safety, but they don't come with a large risk that would drop their value, right? You're looking for, like you said, the Sam Darnolds. You're looking for the ugly ducks that everyone kind of knows what they are, but realistically, their risk comes from how good could they be. And one of the pitfalls to that is missing out on these guys.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, one of the issues with doing that is you don't take punts on the guys who sit, and we talked about wide receiver 3s and how there's 6,542 of them. Yes. You don't take risks on these guys because they don't have name value unless they produce. So for me, Mike Williams was the one, right? You can look at Gallup, who I think could have been here as well, but got injured.
Got hurt.
Yeah, your Robbie Andersons, all these guys had the potential to do what Williams has done. We knew he's talented. We knew that the word coming out was they were going to have a change of role for him. We know Herbert's a good quarterback. We know where they're going away from the run game because they shifted Anthony Lynn out. So these factors were there, but you don't, for me, take risks on them by paying up to the mark to try and get his production because there's no guarantee of it being there. So Mike Williams for me is one of those guys that I didn't really get any shares of. I accidentally got a share of him in one of our leagues. Yeah.
Exactly. But, accidentally is exactly.
Yeah, some of the time these guys are going to hit. And for those of you who believed in the talent and took the risk, this is one of those times that you should take a victory lap. Now, I'm hoping that, Monday night was a bit of an anomaly on his case.
Right.
Because he's been really, really cool to watch and fun to watch. You're never down. You're never disappointed to see one of these guys break through and become what they should have been this entire time. But yeah, it's one of those ones that for us looking back, you go, you would have loved to have it, but process dictates something different.
So are you willing to go and get him now? Like, are you
depends what price you're
willing to buy into that level?
Well, like I said, the process says we're going to try and add value. So for me now, he's on his way up. It's very hard to say unless you think he's going to carry on and become something bigger that you go out and get him, because I think there's other assets out there that have either dropped in perceptive value that you'd rather go and pick up, whether it's injury based or whether it's because you think they're falling a tier and you can get something there. I'm looking at the other areas. I'm just happy to take my loss on Williams and let him be an asset in other teams, probably till next year, because he is in his 5th year. We'll see where he ends up. But for season long, well done to those who have him.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Jalen Smith just got cut by the Cowboys.
Middle
In-season
linebacker.
surprise. Cowboys released linebacker Jalen Smith. Cowboys still owe Smith $7.2 million for the season.
Sorry, I'm just going to take a call and go to Atlanta to tell them to pick up Jalen Smith.
Adam Schefter. That is the official Schefter account.
Wow, we never get breaking news.
That is... what? I swear to God, if he goes to Pittsburgh, I'm going to bash my head again. Like, he's been not great.
No.
Like, being honest, he's been bad.
Yeah.
But
he was one of those young breaking out stars 2 seasons ago. Like, this was the guy.
God,
that was
the
gonna
Ravens
hold
need
down.
to call. The Ravens need to call him right now. The Ravens need to call him right fucking now. Right fucking now.
Just
Please,
anyone.
right fucking now.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have to be the guy. He wouldn't have to be the guy, right? Patrick Queen's the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's big. Oh my
That's
Lord.
massive.
That's huge. Unbelievable. I know there was a problem, but I didn't think it was that bad. Oh my Lanta. Look, for me, for Mike Williams, I'm not really willing to pay that price, right? He might be pricing himself out of the situation he's in, which is the ideal situation, the one that they want in the first place. So he might be working his way out of that one. So I think I'm going to pass. For me, my biggest miss.
This is a good one.
I hate talking about this one because it's hard because I can sit there and be like, meh, injuries to everyone. Meh. My whole thought process about running backs is what I missed on. All right, pretty plain and simple. I'm not a 0 RB truther. I just want that known right now.
Yeah. Can we
That's
say
Jacob.
that now?
That's FF_RTDB. He's now on the 0 RB train. Sorry. He's 0 RB outside of 5 running backs. Like, that's
yeah.
If
you want to talk 0 RB, go see Jacob.
I was convinced that starting out, Akers, Swift, Dobbins would be the type of start you would want because you get the core for the running backs. You get the value on the young guys before they blow up. Now, that obviously has backfired. And what that will do is now make me reconsider how my strategy works. Does that mean I'm never taking a running back that early? No. But it will make me reconsider values on players like Aaron Jones or whoever next year's Aaron Jones is, Austin Eckler, even the monster Derrick Henry himself. Now, I'm not saying I'm personally going to draft him in the first, second, third round, but depending on what build you want to have, I think that it is time for myself and my entire process to be a little open-minded when it comes to startups, trading, and acquiring running backs. My whole process was, I don't want Derrick Henry. Well, I've traded for Derrick Henry and I won back-to-back games. So, right, like the guy is just good. He's steady. He's a rock, right? Joe Mixon was just getting fed before the injury. And then there's been so many injuries to running backs. Do you throw it all away? Do you not? Do you not care about that position? I think this season is building up as an outlier season for running backs, just me personally. Cordero Patterson is like running back 3 on the year. It's absolutely insane and not something I saw coming, right? According to Fantasy Pros right now for PPR, Derrick Henry, Eckler, Patterson, Naji, Aaron Jones, Zeke, got to take an L on that one, DeAndre Swift, Kareem fucking Hunt, James Robinson is back, much to my dismay, Saquon Barkley, David Montgomery, Chase Edmonds, below him, Nick Chubb, Christian McCaffrey's been hurt, Kamara, Joe Mixon, Gibson, Melvin fucking Gordon's, Jamal Williams, Jonathan Taylor at 20, right? The running backs for this season have just been weird. James Conner's top 24. What is happening with running backs this year? This is the year of the 0 RB people. I'm going to let you have your victory laps. It is injury mostly related, but still, fact of the matter remains, you are better off drafting receivers. So for me, I think personally, when I say what my biggest miss was how I evaluated running backs. And it is something that I personally am going to go back and look into. What do you do for next year? How do you handle your rosters moving forward? I was very stubborn with how I constructed my rosters, preparing with these running backs. Now it is time for me to take my biggest miss so far through 4 weeks, take it into the offseason, reevaluate where I am at running backs. I think that is what is important. I think it is so important to understand where you kind of went wrong or where your process could have started to go wrong, admit it, adjust it, and move forward with it. So that's kind of the whole purpose of this. So your biggest miss, Mike Williams, my biggest miss was my entire fucking evaluation of running backs. Because let me tell you, it was a rough one, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Not great so far. Again, it's injuries, but running backs get injured all the time, Tom. I know!
But that's part of the zero RB concept, right?
Right.
We know
and
that
again,
running back injuries are.
I am not saying zero RB is the best way to play. I'm not saying that going robust RB is the best way to play. What I am saying is that looking at your process and seeing it is important to look yourself in the camera, in a mirror, with your mates, and go, this wasn't working. So for me, that's what was not working. So that's what I'm saying. I'm going to reevaluate. Okay. That's important. It's important to do now. It's important to do in the off season. Just know, look, biggest busts for us, right?
Yeah.
Players that this is kind of going to fit right into my argument personally, but I've been talking for like 4 straight minutes. So people are probably tired of me. Your biggest bust in the year is kind of weird because the whole argument for him was that, if we just get him a quarterback, right? Draft him a quarterback and he's going to go off, unstoppable, just a monster, no matter how you look at it. And it's kind of gone the complete opposite way here. Allen Robinson is your biggest bust. What makes him your biggest bust? And is it just Matt Nagy? Is this going to be a 30-second explanation, or do you got?
Yeah, look, I'm not going to blame Matt Nagy because you knew who the head coach was heading into the season.
I'm copping out and blaming Matt Nagy.
That's fine. So it's easy to say yes, Matt Nagy is shit. But if you were someone like me who thought that this year's production in particular for Allen Robinson was going to be higher because they drafted Justin Fields, that is why he's the biggest bust. Because I thought he would be a top 12 wide receiver just because he's so talented. And it doesn't matter what factors outside of that. Once you commit to thinking that's what's going to be the case, if he is, and as he is now, in the mid-40s, and he's played every single game for PPR wide receivers, that's a huge bust. So perceived value, what you thought they were going to do for you, and what they've actually given you. Wide receiver 60 in PPR so far. Standard scoring slightly higher because he got that touchdown. Fuck that. Wide receiver 60.
Yeah.
He's not one of the wide receiver 3s we talk about right now. That's a concern. So, we'll get into a little bit of this chat later on. But, man, like as far as busts go, we know wide receiver, whilst it is replaceable, the people you invest in, the people you choose to put your money into, when they miss, you can miss hard. And so far, Robinson is one of those guys.
And it's not just that you've missed with him, right? It's that Mooney's his guy.
Yeah.
So that's what's the most concerning to me with him. And I have him on probably my most important league, which is not actually our league of record. It is my home league.
That's one of the major issues.
Bench him.
Yeah.
I sat there and tried to find a reason I need to bench him. And like I looked at my bench and I was like, I can't put Marvin Jones in over him.
No.
But maybe I should put, and I was like, nah. And then I watched Mooney just get hyper targeted. It was the most wild thing. Yeah, it was, I don't know. Crazy. Just wild to me.
I want to get to yours because this intrigues me. This is a fun one.
My biggest bust so far has been Alvin fucking Kamara. And it's not even about my process for this year. This started last year, and it started with a completely shit trade. Currently, I guess it's actually kind of even if you look at it now. Like currently, right this second, I'd put it about 50-50. Alvin Kamara is still getting volume. It's just dead volume. Now, when I say dead volume, like, what do you mean dead volume? Well, he's getting carries. Great. Taysom Hill is doing his fucking bullshit, stealing every touchdown, it seems like, at the goal line, and he's not getting targeted. 2 games now, not 1. This is mortifying because Alvin Kamara was the PPR god. That's what he does. And I'm loving watching him play actual running back, not receiver out of the backfield. But the whole offense is terrifying. Now, I personally went out in my process and said, there's no way Alvin Kamara isn't going to be a focal point. Michael Thomas went down and goes, oh my God, Alvin Kamara is going to get 10 targets a game. No, it hasn't happened that way. And I don't know what's with Sean Payton. They're not scripting screen passes. They're not doing shovel passes. They're not. Sean Payton has just looked at his offense and go, everything that we've done before for 20 years, it seems like, fuck it. And he's thrown it out the window. I invested heavily in Kamara. Now, the reason I'll say he's a bust is because in my process, I never for one split second, not one, not a single minute did I go, yeah, that can never happen. Not for any bit of time. I never went, what if they don't throw it to Alvin Kamara with Breeze gone? I said they have to throw it to Alvin Kamara with Breeze gone. They have to throw it to Alvin Kamara with Callaway as their wide receiver 1. They have to throw it to Kamara, and they have to use Kamara as the everything guy. Finally, we're going to get 81 receptions and 250 carries from Alvin. He's going to be the RB1. No, it hasn't even been close to that. So I'm concerned. I'm worried beyond belief. He has sunk teams for me, and that might be hard for people to hear. What do you mean he sunk teams for you? He's still the running back. What is he? The running back. He's got to be in the top. No, he's not. RB 14 PPR.
Yeah.
PPR Alvin Kamara RB 14. And I am seriously worried that guys like James Robinson are going to outscore Alvin Kamara for the rest of the season. And if you couldn't trade Alvin Kamara at 26 years old in a nifty offense before he didn't produce, you think you're really going to be able to trade him for what his true value is after he's not producing? No chance. Now you're stuck with him because you can't take that negative unless you're really convinced that it won't turn around. So he's been my biggest bust. 18 points looked great. 7 points, 20, 12. Like he just 8 attempts for 5 yards, 6 targets for 4 receptions and 25 yards. That's right now he's a touchdown or bust type player. Okay. And this is a guy that I touted as potentially being the one. He's my biggest bust personally. I'm taking that one. I'm taking it right in the heart. It hurts. I'm not biased at all to my love for Alvin Kamara. I'm a paragon of objectivity for how much that I love and appreciate him. He had nothing to do with me winning my first ever Dynasty Championship in 2019. Nothing to do with that at all. Just, really loved his work ethic. It's kind of scaring me right now, but maybe that just means better days are ahead. I'm hoping better days are ahead. So that's it. That's our biggest misses. Our favorite fucking wins because we needed them. That was emotionally heart-wrenching. That was really tough. Look, before we get into the 5 positive and 5 negatives and get out of here, I did skip Foot Falcon Friday. I did it. I got excited. When we came back, I was choking on water and lost my spot. So we're going to talk about the game going on Thursday, but it's Friday for Tom Lee, so it's going to be Foot Falcon Friday. We're going to have a Poets Day this week. We're going to talk about it a little bit earlier. See, I told you, I'm going to find ways to use them now.
Beautiful.
Even if they're out of your context, they're going to be smart for mine. Look, the game on Thursday, huge game. Rams, Seahawks.
Massive game.
Yeah, big NFC West matchup. Potential leaders of the division could meet in the championship game. I don't think so. I think Seattle's fucked. And I'll tell you why. Chris Carson looks bad. Seattle running the ball looks bad. They look better with Alex Collins, to be honest with you. But Chris Carson is hurt. Chris Carson is literally always hurt. He's never not hurt. Like, he's never not injured. And Collins looks better. And today I saw a tweet out of I believe it was one of the Seattle beat reporters, because, they're always trustworthy, that Alex Collins not expected to have an increased role. So I don't know what they're doing out there. Lockett's back on his bullshit. DK Metcalf has been underwhelming. That whole offense, in my opinion, has been underwhelming.
Yeah.
And I'm actually, for once, heavily invested in that offense with Metcalf and Lockett. I overpaid for Metcalf big time. And despite me wanting to vomit thinking about it, I actually invested in some Lockett. And it's still making me sick as I can't breathe right now. It's really tough for me right now. I got to tell you. It's going to be a rough one, okay? What do you mean, Tom? Tyler Lockett's the wide receiver 10. Don't care. It hasn't been pretty, and I'm not happy about it. So, not really. Yeah. So what are you looking at for this week? Obviously, Cooper Kupp, the god, should eat against that Seattle secondary. What are you thinking right now?
So keys for me. So on the Rams side, we've got Henderson coming back likely this week, and he's been good so far. I mean, like early 20s as far as running backs go. Missed a game in that. Are they going to lean on the run, or they're just going to keep sticking through the air as they have been? Is it going to turn into a shootout? This is an issue. 2 games in a row we've wanted the shootout with Brady and New England, and then we wanted it with the Chargers and with the Raiders, and it just hasn't happened. It hasn't come to fruition. So, with the Rams and the way it's been heading, you would assume that you can rely on Kupp. They're talking about getting Woods more targets. Henderson's back. This offense should be rolling through Seattle, but apart from Kupp, I'm not sure. Kupp and Stafford are locks. That's fine.
So here's the thing, as you mentioned the Robert Woods comment about we're going to get more targets. More targets to do what?
Don't know.
Targets 4, 9, 6, 6. What are you going to give him? 10?
Yeah,
when Kupp is clearly the option.
For those who missed it, it's from Sean McVay himself. So Sean McVay said, "It's my fault that Woods isn't producing this offense. I'm not doing a good enough job to scheme touches to him." Right. So that's positive. If you're a Woods owner and you're wanting to turn around, those are the sort of things you want to hear. Mm-hmm. But what does it mean? Yeah, I don't know. What's the ceiling realistically?
Because Kupp's not going to walk away with less than like 11 targets.
No.
So where are those other targets coming from? Is it going to be? It's going to be coming from Reynolds. I think it's Van Jefferson.
Yeah, Van Jefferson.
Is it going to come from them forcing the ball to Deshaun fucking Jackson?
Yeah,
because he got open once. I don't know where it's going to come from. I just want to see if Cooper Kupp still gets 10 targets. Right?
Yeah.
If Cooper Kupp gets 10 targets again after 13? I think it was on Sunday. Yeah, 13. Yeah. Knowing that he was double covered because they said it outright, and he was.
Yeah, they said he won't beat us.
He was still forcing the ball. Stafford was still forcing the ball on 3 people. It was absolutely magical. Loved it. It was like the most casual 11 fantasy points I've seen someone put up at wide receiver with 13 targets, but no touchdown, which sucks. But you're right. Henderson is back. I think Seattle's just going to get absolutely murked in this game.
Seattle's the interesting.
But the last time I fucking said that, it was like came down to a field goal and a fucking tsunami in New England. So I don't know. Prediction from me. I'm gonna go because these are also divisional, so you never know. Rams 33, Seahawks 24.
Okay, that's pretty high scoring. Yeah,
I'm taking the over for sure.
Because this is the tough thing, right? And we talked about Lockett and Metcalf before. Lockett currently wide receiver 10, Metcalf currently wide receiver 15. They off the back of 2 good weeks each. So they've shared. There hasn't been a week where they've coexisted and produced. It's been
I don't think it'll be this one.
Well, that's it. Like someone's going to get Ramsey at the very least if they choose to cover all the time. And then you've got Donald breaking through on Wilson. So, what are they going to turn? It sounds like it's going to be more of a Lockett game because you're going to lean on short volume to try and get passes out quickly. We're going to lean on the ground game with,
Alex Collins.
I don't know. So I'm not probably as energetic. I think 33 for the Rams seems good. I'm not sure what Seattle's going to put up, but 33-24, I'll take. That sounds good.
I just think that Seattle will find a way in garbage time to score. So I think that's where it's going to come from. So final score, what did you have?
No, I'll go with you. I'm happy. I'll go 31-21.
Okay. That's nice. Yeah. That's an evenly odd number, isn't that?
4 touchdowns and a field goal.
Right. Yeah, I think that's possible. Okay, look. we're gonna go quick because we're running out of time. It creeps
We'll roll
up on
through
us
these.
quick on this show, right? We're gonna roll through some positives and some negatives on the year. So we're gonna start with the positives because whatever. Then we'll end the whole thing on a positive. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of fantasy relevant players. I mean, it's right. They're coming out of nowhere. Players that we didn't think are going to be fantasy relevant ever, all of a sudden are seemingly must-starts.
Yeah,
Shout out Cordero Patterson.
absolutely.
Players
But even the
that
Melvin
we didn't-
Gordons, the Zach Mosses, these guys,
right? Yeah, Zach.
it's never a
Moss
bad
especially.
thing.
Remember when
for
Zach
fantasy.
Moss? Remember when Zach Moss got scratched the first game, and then everyone
Yeah,
tried to
healthy
trade you
scratch.
Devin Singletary, and we were all just like, nah.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't
No,
do it.
yeah, don't, yeah, absolutely not. Don't send it. Peak age assets delivering. Cup, Hill, Adams, Thielen. You're right. Thielen.
There's so many more, but these guys are. This is what you want. We always talk about dynasty with the youth bias. These guys are balling out, and they should be. Don't fade old guys just because you think you should be going young. Yeah.
And it doesn't fit your narrative.
Yeah,
right?
if the value
Thielen has got to be the
capitalize on
most. Thielen has got to be like the biggest shock to me.
Yeah.
Personally, because it was like, oh, he's not going to score that many touchdowns again. Oh, he's scoring touchdowns again.
Yeah.
And then, oh, he's not going to be that good. Oh, he's run the most, or he's had the most
good.
snaps
Yeah.
out of all wide receivers. It's like, okay, I was wrong. He's healthy. Maybe,
Yeah. So far, he's what everyone wanted Julio to be.
Exactly. Yeah. 1,000.
1 to 2 years.
1,000%. Yep. Lots of young players breaking out or starring. Swift, Jefferson, Chase, Harris, Herbert. You're right. The young studs are definitely making themselves known right now. Some are disappointing, but again, I think that's mostly injuries, right?
Yeah.
You expect Jefferson to be good. We didn't know how good after his record-breaking year. We had a feeling that Swift would be good, had kind of a down week this week, but for the most part, he's been everything you could ask for. He's one of the one running backs that have just really popped for where you got him in that second,
and it's
third
what
round.
brings us joy in Dynasty, right? Like we drafted these guys, we got them on the rookie draft. Like we want to develop with them. We want to see them succeed regardless of if they're in our teams or whatever they've done.
Right.
So it's good to see at least some of them coming through and really building on what they've done before or showing us what they've got.
Yeah. We also got like Mac Jones, who all the jokes about him being a check down king. Doesn't matter. He's been viable. Right.
Tom Brady was a six-time Super Bowl check down king for most of his career. So.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, except for the couple of big years, right? You got Devontae Smith looks great. DJ Moore's a god. F1 has his bay in Tay. Debo doing his things. Hollywood doing his thing until Bateman gets back, and then Mike Williams, right?
Yeah.
So lots of young players looking like stars right now. It's just fantastic. You love to see it. Oh, excuse me. Again, number 4, QB recharge, right? Sam Darnold.
I was wondering if you knew what this word was, Tom.
Oh, that's not recharge? Oh,
this is repicharge.
Okay, yeah. So
for those of us private school boys out there who know what the repicharge is, it's essentially the second coming of the rowing race. So if you miss out on making the finals in the first one, all
Captain
the guys
Private
who lost
School
get in
over
the
here.
second one. Captain Private School over here, you get the repicharge. So these are all the QBs that we've just said. They're no good or they're done or we're not gonna need them. Darnold, Jones, Stafford, Carr, Cousins, Heineke, Goff, all top 16 quarterbacks. Most of these guys thrown away for late firsts or early seconds or nothing. Just value that's producing, which is just outstanding, especially in Superflex.
Yeah, it's absolutely unreal. Yeah, I my brain just automatically read that as recharge. It's so funny.
It also works.
But especially the quarterback situation, it's been great. I mean, guys that were not really viable are just popping out. You gotta love it. Primetime games for the most part have been excellent. Correct. Aside from 2 last night and the Sunday nighter. Everything
but
else.
Even then, there's an interest. Those games are close. It's nice to have a primetime game where everyone's watching it. Your games are being decided. Your matchups are being decided. It's good to have a game that's worth watching till the end. Even though sometimes you want to poke your eyes out for most of it.
Just absolutely stab my eyes into oblivion. I couldn't agree more. Look, some negatives before we get out of here, right? Some aging wide receivers look iffy. DeAndre Hopkins, A-Rob, Woods. Hopkins definitely looks scary to me and how they're running that offense now that they have some more weapons there and Kyler's
Yeah.
spreading it out a little more. Yeah, it looks.
This is one to check back in on in our week 8 review because
Yes.
if they haven't turned it around and you can't sell them, I don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah, they're just gonna retire on your roster. Or
Yeah,
hope something breaks for you.
changes. Yeah.
For me, oh my lord, what is happening to my computer right now? Okay, sorry. Some more negatives. RB scoring drops from running back 9 to 25, separated by 10 points. It's absolutely filthy and disgusting.
Yeah. And this is what we talked about before, the process of us
yeah,
having running backs as a priority, whether it's one in the first round and going with your feature running back strategy, or whether it's having multiple at the top. The gap is not as big as it once was, and you're not getting the production differences that you once were. So, I mean, to be able to fill in production, a lot of these guys in the 9 to 25 range as well, like we said, aren't unlike Eckler, aren't household names. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's really been a change and a shift, and we're going to see if that comes back to fruition later on. But
Even with
it's
running
something to
backs
keep a
being
big eye
so
on.
bad, even with running
Yeah.
backs being so bad, Ronald Jones still doesn't matter, and I think that says something for the running back landscape.
Yeah.
Young elite assets sliding backwards. Ayuk, Visca, Miles Sanders. You're right. This is kind of gut wrenching. There's Chris Koss right there. I have arrived. Mega Man, what's up, yo? Been a while. Happy to see you. Since you've been in the old chat there, I swear to God, if you pop a trivia in here at the end of the show, I might lose my shit.
We'll lose Tom.
Yeah, we're gonna lose me for sure. Fuck. We need that to happen. Yeah, the young studs, right, are just having. He did fucking do it. I'm gonna read that in a minute, Chris. Let me finish my thought. Look, the sophomore slump is real right now, right?
Yeah.
For a lot of these guys, and for Sanders, it's not sophomore, so it's kind of inexcusable. But long list of injury for top tier assets. Oh my God, this is so heartbreaking. Listen to this list.
This is always a
Dobbins,
negative.
Akers, Etienne, McCaffrey, AJ Brown, Jerry Judy. I'm not going to try to pronounce Tua's last name. You got Higgins, Claypool, Monty now, Gallup, and Bateman. Just disgusting list of injuries. It's so disgusting. Like, that has crippled probably so many fantasy teams this season. Best ball gone. Just it's been really bad. And rookie struggling, right? All the quarterbacks, except for last week where they all looked pretty good.
Yeah.
But rookies in general have definitely had an off start, couple of splash plays, but unfortunately those are some of the negatives to the show. Now we got to get to Chris's question here because he always stumps me every time he comes in and pops one in, but it has been a while. It's probably been about 4 weeks. Who was the first player drafted in the first NFL draft in 1936? I don't fucking know.
Great bit of trivia though, because I did not know the first NFL draft was in 36.
Me either. I'm gonna guess it's something like Brian Smith, from BYU, running back.
Did you just pick the most common first and last name?
Yeah,
and make
for standard accounting
Brian
white
Smith,
guys.
BYU.
Yeah. Brian Smith. Yeah, that's also a shout out to Key and Peele. Want multiple choice? Yes. Always give me multiple choice. Always, literally always. Yeah, they do like that player intro skit, and at the end there's always just like a Brian Smith, BYU, or it was Brad Smith or something. It's just absolutely fantastic. Look, as we wait for the multiple choice from Christopher here or Mega Man over there coming in on Twitch. I love it. Oh. A, Bart Starr. B, J. Burwanger. What a name. C, Slingin' Sammy Baugh. Or D, Dandy Don Hudson.
Well, Tom, I know who I'm going for.
36. You're probably going Bart Starr.
No, I'm going with the guy with Wanger in his name because that's fantastic.
Jay Burwanger.
Jay Burwanger.
Okay,
that
you're going to take
Burwanger. I'm going with Burwanger.
Hold on. So, Sammy Baugh didn't play in that era, as far as I know.
I've only heard of two of the other ones. So
Don Hudson. I don't think Bart Starr was the number one pick. I'm going to go Don Hudson. I don't think Starr was the number one pick. So Tom is going to go Jay Burwanger, and I, for me, am going to go Don Hudson. What a name, Burwanger.
What a name.
Fantastic. I'm gonna make that my gamer tag.
The euphemism gamer tag.
Jay Berwanger was the first pick. Any idea which team drafted him? Not a fucking clue. Just for
Couldn't
fun.
tell you how many teams are in the NFL.
No idea. No idea, Chris. Hit us with the bonus.
So
the
good.
Broncos. Philly.
Philly.
Philadelphia drafted again.
Sounds like a name you'd want in Philly.
Jay Berwanger.
Yeah, get around him.
Hey, it goes Berwanger. Good game, Berwanger. What a name. Unbelievable.
What a name.
Thanks. Appreciate
Thanks,
the trivia
Chris.
on that one there, Mega Man. Love it.
So good.
Look, as we always like to do, we have some final thoughts. So Tom Lee, hit us with our final thoughts for tonight so we can get the hell out of here.
Absolutely. Let's get a little Aussie slang in here.
Oh, yeah.
The more and more we dive
yeah.
into the Aussie slang, I think what's happening is Aussie slang starting to sort of disperse into the vernacular across the world. So every now and then we may hit one that either you know or other people know. But this is a fun one for me.
The Harold Holt one I was very happy
The Harold, yeah. There's some classic stories, or you're starting to get more Australian actors and stuff ruin this gimmick for me, but that's fine. One that I like is tickle the ivories. Have you heard the phrase tickle the ivories? I'm going to take that as a no. So what do you think, Tom, tickle the ivories means?
I don't want to know. It sounds like...
well, I'm going to do my fingers like this. Tickle the ivories.
That's worse.
Tickle the ivories means playing the piano.
Oh, my God. You guys over there.
Yeah, we're losing it.
Oh my God! Oi!
So, if you were to use it in a sentence,
goes off for a Poets' Day to go tickle the ivories.
Well, this is it, using the sentence right. So I googled this just to check that,
sure.
How would they use it? And the suggested usage of tickle the ivories is nothing like listening to that bloke in the corner tickle the ivories. He can definitely play.
Oh my God! I could just
Sorry,
as it always.
Language?
What? Hold on. Playing the piano. Oh, he knew that one.
Oh, nice.
I knew that, and I live with you. Yeah, Chris did know that one. Good for him. I did not know that one at all. I can just imagine, as I always do, two burly, tough Australian lads
just big
coming up with that fucking
hand.
saying. Yeah.
Oh, mate, fuck.
What the fuck is he doing over there? What are you fucking doing over there? I don't know. Tickling ivories. In their budgie smugglers.
Oh, God. That would be the line for me.
Yeah. Tom Lee is out. I just imagine somebody your size, because you're like massive at like 6'6", 300 stone, right? However you measure yourselves up there. You're an absolute. You're just gonna continue to get
3.5 kangas. Yeah.
What the fuck? Unbelievable. Look, for me, my final thoughts are always the same. Be kind to people out there, right? We've lost some loved ones, right? We've lost some big hitters in the industry and just in life all the time. So check in on your friends, your family. Take the time to actually enjoy the games. The numbers are one thing, but actually enjoy the thing that we're all sitting here working towards and going through. Find some things that make you happy. And obviously, if you disagreed with what we said, you know where we're at. I'm Thomas Tipple FF. Over there around the world, that's Tom_Lee 92 Lie. Actually, it's Tom Lie, right? LIE 92 over there on the Bird app and
there's
in
a
Australia.
backstory to that, Tom.
Yeah, I bet there is.
Hit me.
There always is with you guys. Again, you probably fought off some ruse on your way to the car, and
they took the other E.
Yeah, 100%. So look. Just be kind to one another. Check in on your family, your loved ones. Remember that the most important thing is that clear eyes, full hearts can never lose, and that the best days are always spent tilting. Good night, everyone. Enjoy the game on Thursday, and we will see you Friday, the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast. Goodbye for now.
It says here we should work in teams. Who wants to be my spotter?
I don't think you should be doing too much gambling tonight, Alan.
Gambling? Who said anything about gambling? It's not gambling when you know you're going to win.